Welcome to the Scream at Night podcast, your midnight home for all things horror, from Scream 7 theories to horror debates and deep dives into the darkest corners of the genre. As we dive deep into the shadows of fear, film, and everything that makes us scream, we'll be breaking down horrors past, present, and future every week, here where horror never sleeps.
Hello?
Hello, Sidney.
What's going on? Welcome to the Scream at Night podcast, and I'm here with our good friend, the queen herself, Sarah. I'm so glad you can make this again, because we're gonna go into the deep dive for the franchise. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to be back. I could talk about this forever.
Well, yeah, I could too. For you guys that are here tonight, we appreciate you guys hanging out. This is going to be a lot of fun. A blanket hello to everybody. We see you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. We've got Travis in the house. We got DJ, Frankie saying, yo, what's up, Frankie? Gene is back with us. Good to see you, Gene. Kelly is in the house. All right. Hope you're doing well, Kelly. And let's see. We've got Erica. Hey, Erica. Good to have you. Hollywood guy, Paula. Welcome. All right. So tonight we're going to be kind of diving into the franchise itself, the roller coaster that it is. And I was really excited to get some of Sarah's takes on where she is as a lifelong fan, and also what we expect or hope or fear for Scream 7. And real quick before I do that, I just want to make sure I have to do this one more time. Last night, I unboxed an amazing Ghostface bobblehead.
Cute.
From my good buddy Derek over at Derek's Horror Stuff, City Morgue Toys and Collectibles. I put the link in the chat. Derek sent this to me to check it out and also to kind of get the word out. He's really awesome. I follow him on Instagram as well. We put the link in the chat last night. We'll do that tonight as well. But this Ghostface is awesome. It really is. And it's got a place right here with my Michael and my Jason stuff. I also want to say the other thing too, I was looking through some of the stickers. He gave me stickers inside. And also, I love this. I got a tag. And this was so cool. It's awesome. It says the name of the deceased is Night. The place of death, citymorguetoys.com has the date. The cause of death, you'll love this one. Ignored the horror rules. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
God.
Examining physician is Ghostface. I love it. Very, very cool stuff. So if you guys ever decide to get some really cool stuff, definitely check it out. It's really awesome. And it's a very nice touch. You know, I really liked how he personalized everything. So shout out to my man, Derek. Check it out. I got the link in the chat. I think I'm going to pin it. And then that way, anyone that wants to check it out, you guys can. But Sarah, let's get into this. When we talk about Scream, give us a sense of your fandom. Like, what makes you such a big fan of the franchise? What's kept you as a fan all of these years? And also, what's kind of giving you cause to pause?
Yeah, I've loved this since I can remember. Like, I probably saw the original 3 for the first time when I was in junior high. Scream 4 was the first one that I saw in theaters. But I've always loved horror. And when when I discovered Scream, it was just so different because you're used to seeing the same killer just slaughter a bunch of new people. But Scream was about the survivors and you followed their story movie to movie. So I really connected with that kind of core cast, which is different than, other movies, because with the exception of maybe a Final Girl, the casts usually don't roll through a franchise. So this
Right.
was like, yeah, it was nice to be able to follow a storyline through multiple movies that wasn't just like the killer's lore. So I thought that was like special and fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. And I've said it many times before. It's the franchise that kind of flips that whole script. It's different than Halloween or Elm Street or Friday the 13th because with those franchises, it's all about the killer. The killer is basically the hero. And we were talking about it on the collective, and my good buddy Fate Decided made a point where, Scream is about Ghostface. And I would say, obviously, Ghostface is the killer that's been consistent, and is the face, pun
Mhm.
intended, of the franchise. But I seriously stand by the characters. I think the characters are so important, and I think that's what has allowed the franchise to thrive for decades and become one of these classic standing franchises. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it's always been about the characters. I really do. And even with the last two films, you could tell that they were trying to, it, in their best way possible, I guess, try to have new characters that people could connect to and latch on to. So it's really interesting how that is. But I agree with you. And it's really interesting. Um, but let me ask you this, Sarah, because I wanted to go through a couple of topics in particular, that I thought would be interesting to touch upon. The first one I want to talk about is something that I'm calling the state of Scream. When you think about the franchise as it stands right now, how do you feel about the state of Scream, and what does it feel like for you personally?
Yeah, I'm not in a great place with it right now.
Okay.
If people have, seen me on here before, they know I'm not the biggest fan of the last two installments.
Hmm.
Um, but I am hopeful for seven. It seems like a little bit of a return to form. Um, and I'm hoping it'll erase some of the sins of the last two.
Hmm.
So, yeah, cautiously optimistic is kind of where I stand right now.
Yeah. Did that change at all for you with the trailer? Did that, bump you up into more of a optimistic territory, or did it kind of keep you right in the middle? Some people don't trust trailers. Some people are like, trailers usually look great, but that doesn't mean anything to me. I got to see the film before I really, make a choice of whether I'm going to enjoy it or not.
Yeah, it made me excited to see it. I think it looks okay. Um, I was pleased by the amount of Sydney that we got, which is my main issue with the last two installments.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the fact that the trailer was Sydney focused was a plus.
Yeah, no, I think they intentionally, I should say, showed us a hell of a lot of Nev. I mean, there was so much Sydney in there. I mean, we saw more of Sydney in this trailer than we might have seen in the last three films. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Um, but let me also ask you this too, having Sydney be the main focus in this film, and we talked about this a little bit, we started to on the collective. Do you feel as though that having Sydney be so prominent in the franchise, and as well as Gail and Dewey was as well, do you think that that's a good thing or a bad thing, and why?
I think it's a good thing. So when you think about the first four films,
Hmm.
they really are Sydney's story. Like, and that's what Wes had always intended,
Yeah.
right? But we know, like, it can't be her story forever, and there has to be some kind of passing of the torch out
Hmm.
at one point,
Right.
eventually. I don't think they did that well in five,
Hmm.
and then it was even worse in six, right? It's like we just are all of a sudden thrust into this new story. There are these new people we're being force fed. We're supposed to care about them now.
Hmm.
And the OGs are a glorified cameo in five, and Sydney isn't even in six. Like, that is not a passing of the torch. So
Yeah.
I think that having us refocus on her for seven, and who knows what's going to happen in eight, but it gives them a chance to like redo that properly and end her story, and then we can move forward and they can do whatever crazy business they want to do down the line. But
Uh-huh.
I think they really messed her up in 5 and 6, and this is going to be a chance to kind of make it right. And thankfully, we have Kevin.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, Kevin was that was a big plus. And number one, directing, but then when we, realized that he helped to write it, it was like, okay, thank God, hearing that confirmation of him being a co-writer, that was huge. Like it really changed my whole perspective of what not only what we can expect, but just I just know he's going to do a better job with these characters because he's just always shown that he can. I think that's one of his gifts is really making you love these characters and the situations that they're in because the chemistry flows. The dialogue is interesting. I mean, if you think about the original film,
Mhm.
there's large amounts of time where we don't even see Ghostface. We don't have chases every 10 minutes or kills every 5 minutes. There's tons of time where these characters are just being characters
Yeah.
and we're experiencing their lives. Um, which is of course again, I think that's what made people really latch on to these characters.
No,
But
I totally agree. And that's what we kind of missed in the
yeah.
last two. Just there were so many people. We didn't spend very much time with any of them. Like I didn't care really about them.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's just like even in 4, it was a pretty large new cast.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a lot better. Like we got to know the main players at least. Like we
Hmm.
obviously get attached to Kirby, right? Enough to
Yeah.
bring her back.
Hmm.
But like I don't feel that same way about like the Chads and Mindys of now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I understand that. I really do because again, for me, the way that the last two films were unbalanced, was a big issue. I think that sure they had some really cool stuff, but it didn't make up for the things that didn't make sense or the issues that I had. And as a matter of fact, that's actually another one of the topics I wanted to touch upon, of course, is the problems with 5 and 6. I think with 5, I think one of the biggest issues I had, and then I can, let you tell us what you think. The biggest problem I had with 5 is that it just felt like I didn't get to know anyone.
Mhm.
I didn't get to know anyone. I mean, yeah, other than Sam, because obviously Sam was the focus, right? Unfortunately, though, the way that her character came about, the whole idea of her dealing with her darkness and dealing with, her medication, and so her character was it was kind of tough to be on board with it. I will say now with hindsight, I can appreciate some of the subtlety that Melissa put into that performance. Because at first I was just like, okay, come on, this is supposed to be the new final girl, and she's just kind of like, blah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I mean, you've got Kyle Gallner, who, in my opinion, is a fantastic actor. I mean, he can do anything. Just look at his resume, and you have him in in the movie for like 2.5 minutes. They almost try to make it seem like he could be a red herring, but I don't know him. I don't care about him.
No.
He's just a guy at a bar, and then when they kill him, and he's and he's gone. It's like, what are we doing? So when you look at 5, I mean, specifically, what are some of your biggest issues?
Oof. Okay. Well,
Why he said oof.
I guess I'll just jump off of what you're talking about. It's like they killed off, I think, two of the more interesting characters. Like
Yeah.
Kyle Gallner could have done incredible things.
Hmm.
Like even if he was just going to be a red herring and get killed, they could have
Hmm.
used him so much more. And I know there was like a lot behind the scenes. Like I guess he was like really sick at the time, but
Hmm.
still, like he was so underutilized in that movie.
Yep.
The other character, the Wes character,
Hmm.
could have gone on to various sequels. Like, he was the most likable out of the entire new cast. He was
Mhm.
Judy's son. Like, 6, he could have gone off the rails in 6 dealing with his mother's death. Like,
Mhm.
imagine if he found the body, like, he was I don't know, he was
Yeah.
likable, and they could have, like, done a lot with his story, and they killed him. That's the same with 6. Annika was the most likable one, and they kill her, like,
Mhm.
immediately. It's like they're focusing on the wrong people.
Yes.
Like, that bothered me. The
Yeah.
fact that they called it, like, the passing of the torch, yet they
Mhm.
didn't wrap up Sydney or Gail's story, like, at all. They were
Yeah.
glorified cameos, like, don't get me wrong, like, of course, I love Neve, but, like, I know she's gonna not be in this franchise forever, and, like, I'm fine with that, but they
Mhm.
need to give her a proper send-off. Like, these people have been in these movies for 30 years. Next year will be
Right.
30 years since the first one. You can't just have them pop in for 5 minutes at the end and be like, "Good luck, new girl." Like, no,
You'll make it. You'll get through this.
right? And then, I mean, the Dewey of it all, I think that was crazy. Like, don't get me started on killing Dewey. Like, I think that was so stupid. He should have had a
Yeah.
happy ending. And even if he didn't, even if they say, they want these movies to have stakes,
Mhm.
make it make sense. Make him sacrifice himself for Gail or Sydney, not some
Mhm.
like little girl we've known for 45 minutes that we don't care about.
Yeah, man. I've said that too. Like, you've gotta make it worth it.
Yeah.
Right? It's gotta be big time, and they had everything right there, the breadcrumbs were right there. Him and Gail were separated.
Mhm.
There was still that love that they had for each other, and you could see this is also what irritated me so much about 5. You could still see the magic that David and Courtney had together on screen together,
Yeah.
when they finally were face to face in 5, and it's almost like, "Use that, guys." If one of them have to die, and I know it might have been cliche,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, let them sacrifice for one another. If you're gonna kill Dewey, it's got to be to help Gail, to save Gail, not to see her calling him and then he gets, distracted. It's like that's so lame.
Right.
It's horrible. I mean, again, the conundrum is these characters have been around for a long time, so how long can they continue to survive these situations, right? Okay, fine, but again, if you're gonna kill one of them or any of them, it's got to be done the right way.
And
It
they
really
still
does.
didn't pay it off in 6. Like,
Right.
there was barely a mention of it. There was a twinkle of his theme when they were at the theater, and
Yeah.
then, of course, that little moment with Gail in her apartment,
Hmm.
but, like, she went right back to writing trashy novels about the murders, like, instead of writing her little book about him, like, she
Right.
learned nothing, like, it crushed any bit of character development from 5, like,
Mm.
it's like the people making these movies don't understand the franchise, and I think that's the most frustrating thing, because 'cause they're like, "Oh, look at this big shrine we made for you in 6." I'm like, "I don't need a
Right.
shrine, I need you to understand the source material
Right.
and understand the fandom."
That's that's a good
Like,
point.
don't try to buy me off with pretty trinkets, like, make the
Right.
story make sense.
Right. I don't need a whole bunch of ketchup and onions. I want the burger. That's
Yeah.
what that's what I want. Let me well, that also goes into the whole idea of radio silence and their capabilities. Now, we had a really spicy conversation in our Instagram
Ugh.
thread, and you were going off, man. I mean, and so was Val. And I thought to myself, this is hearing it from a Scream fan. Um, it was really cool because as a content creator, I'm always looking at all these different things and so forth, and so it's always awesome to hear folks that aren't always able to be on a panel express their thoughts as well. So with radio silence, what do you think? I mean, what were some of the things that they didn't do well, and were there any things that they did do well with these two films?
The vibe was off, and I know that sounds very vague, but,
Hmm.
like, so when you think of honestly, even I'd say the first 3 are my favorite, people know that, but even 4, Like, think of the shots in one. These like big, wide, sweeping, like establishing shots that really set a specific tone.
Yeah.
Things seemed isolated. You could see where they were. It was just like a vibe. Five was shot like really tight.
Yeah, it
Like you
was.
could tell it was suburbia and they were trying to make it look more rural, but like that wasn't working. Everything was very like claustrophobic and
Hmm.
just like it didn't have that Woodsboro vibe. And
Gotcha.
it's, I mean, nobody can be Wes, but like you can try. You can watch the first movies. Like all of these little details too. It's like it seemed rushed and they just wanted to make it like look nice and polished, but like
Hmm.
not a lot of thought really went into it. They kept saying it's like this homage to Wes, but I'm like, Wes was a detail guy. Like,
Yeah.
think about the shot in the first one of Sydney walking down the stairs and she has a bunch of stuff in her hands, and you can see that it's the clothes. And then the next day at school, she's wearing the clothes that she was carrying, like in her hands. But like they
Mm-hmm.
can't even get the lore right when they're talking about like who's starring in the Stab movies and how many there
Right.
are. And it's like there was just like a lack of, it felt like a lack of care went
Mm.
into it. I don't know how else to describe that.
No, no, I hear you. I mean, it's definitely a scenario where you're stepping, I mean, granted, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate, you're stepping into some huge shoes. The
Yeah.
shadow can't get much bigger than Wes Craven. I mean, so I get that. But you're right, if you're gonna do it, you gotta be ready for all the heat. You gotta be ready to make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's. And the thing about Wes with Scream and so many of his other films, pretty much all of his other films. I mean, hell, I remember watching with Steven, we did a watch party for Deadly Friend. And Deadly Friend is, by all accounts, compared to Scream, a much more, what I mean,
Mhm.
small, typish film. But even in that, there was this sense of character and charm and just, a certain aesthetic. So you've got to be ready to come with it. And it felt like to me, and I agree with you quite a bit, like we were talking about in the thread, it felt like Radio Silence just wasn't able um, to punch it. They had a couple moments, here and there, but overall, I felt like I also agree the vibe was off. And again, could they really have caught that same vibe? No, but if you're going to walk in the footsteps of the master, you got to come with something that's great in your own way. And that felt like they just couldn't, and a big part of it too, like I said, was just the characters. I just felt like the characters fell flat, almost all of them. I mean, other than obviously Sam and Richie, but to be quite honest, I give Jack Quaid a lot of credit for that because he's just so damn charismatic and amazing. I
Mhm.
think he was able to really inject into that film so much to try to level up what he was given to do, kind of like how Matthew, injected so much into that role in 96, um but yeah, it's frustrating, it truly is. Great answer. We're gonna get into some more about that, and obviously we're gonna go into six. But real quick to catch up to the chat, we got our guy Hollywood guy coming in. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate the support. Saying sorry off topic, but I wonder what Wes Craven thought about Scream. Did he think it would be a worldwide phenomenon, or maybe just another movie? Well, no one thought it was going to be what it became. Anytime I've ever heard Wes or David or Matthew or Nev talk about the original film, they were all happy to do it and they thought that they were giving it, their best shot, but none of them expected it to become what it became. It totally just, it was lightning in a bottle. It took off and they rode the train with it. They truly did. So good question, man. Good question. Thank you so much for the support too, Hollywood guy. We appreciate you. Travis saying Deadly Friend was awesome. It really was. It was, pure 80s. Campy, cheesy, but fun. I really, really enjoy Deadly Friend. It's one of those films I found when I was a young kid, and I loved it. Travis saying to play devil's advocate, these movies are meant to be rewatched. Did you We know the original character is as good as we think after the very first watch. Did you think we know? I think nah, I got that mixed up. Maybe he's saying, "Do you think we knew the original characters as good as we think after the very first watch?" If you're talking about 5, I definitely don't think we got to know them as good as we wanted to, or as well as we wanted to. Definitely not versus the first 3 or even 4 films.
Yeah, also,
I just,
like,
yeah.
do we wanna rewatch 5 and 6? Like, I don't, not because I think
Ooh.
the thing is, like, if they grab me initially, then yeah, of course I wanna rewatch it.
Mhm.
I enjoy it, but if something is, like, not enjoyable, why rewatch it? Like, why
Yeah,
bother to even try to learn more about these people if you don't like them anyway? Like, I'd
good
rather
point.
spend my time watching the first 3.
Good point. Now here's a question too. Now this is kind of off, not off topic, but just to throw it out there. So with 4, is 4 that one that's like right in the middle of all of these films as far as, you like it enough, but it's still not like the first 3?
Yeah, I don't have, like, strong opinions on 4. I
Mhm.
do enjoy it. There are some things about it that I like more with additional watches, and there's some things that I
Mhm.
like less. Like,
Mhm.
I'm real tired of, like, the double fake out opening. Like, that
Mhm.
was, like, good for a watch or 2, but
Yeah.
now it's like, let's just get, like, to the movie.
Right, right.
Um, the ending feels a little unfinished for me. Like,
Yep.
usually we have some good closure with the main characters, and this one kind of ends on, like, the misinformation that Jill is, like, the hero, like, only the audience knows that she was, like, the villain.
Yeah.
Um, but that said, when I think about it in comparison to 5 and 6, I'm Jill is head and shoulders above the other killers.
Yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
we're not appreciating Charlie enough, like, think about Detective Bailey.
Of
Like,
course it was me.
give me Charlie over Detective Bailey. Like, they made it make sense in 4. Like, I believed Sydney going on her book tour. I believed the town kind of calling her the angel of death. I
Mhm.
believe that Jill's a psychopath. Like, I enjoyed the new additions to the cast. It didn't feel like they were shoved down our throat. It was like it made sense that this person was related to Sydney, and now we're like meeting her friends, and
Mhm.
it just seemed more well thought out. It's not one that I reach for, like, if I'm gonna do, like, a marathon, sure, I kind of do the first 4, but,
Mhm.
yeah, has some good, has some bad, fits right in the middle. I
Yeah.
I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. I will say though, I totally agree with one, well, I mean more than one point, but the big point was they were able to show balance between new characters and old characters fairly, I mean really well, to be honest. I mean, it was a Sydney story, but yet they introduced us to Jill and her friends and kind of her circle, and it flowed. There was balance to it,
Yeah.
so much balance that by the end of the film, when there's the reveal, I was like, what? I was like, I was truly shocked. And I think that's a credit to the balance that they had in 4, which
Yeah.
for 5 they just didn't have. I think 6 was better. I want to start to go into 6. I
Mhm.
think the balance was better in 6, especially when you talk about the core 4. I really felt like, especially Chad, but Mindy as well. I think they had more presence, more weight. And of course,
Mhm.
Sam and Tara, I think as a group were better. And I also think Sam was a lot better in this film as far as taking the lead, being smart, trying to make the best choices, and having some real cool moments to work with, except for the fact I I wish, and I was surprised they didn't really go into her darkness more. I thought that they would have kind of went a little further with that, and that was the one criticism, not so much of her, but of the choice that was made for her character. Because I think Melissa really did a great job in 6. Does 6 how does 6 stack up to 5, and your thoughts on 6 in particular?
I do enjoy the performances from like the core four more in 6. That being said, I feel like the story just like falls apart even more. Like it's like a little all over the place. I'm a person that enjoys fan service, right? Like I'm a fan. I want to see Easter eggs. I want to see things that are meant for fans. This just felt very like in your face, like all of the references, all of the jabs at previous characters and installments, the Kirby at the end with like the TV falling, like the shrine, it was just like overkill. And I'm like, just write me a good mystery. Like I don't care about the bells and whistles. So it's like, their performances got better, but the story got worse.
Yeah, I think the story definitely didn't live up to the possibilities of being in New York. That was kind of a bummer. I really thought that they were gonna put it this way. Yes, I obviously they're in New York, and there were a couple of things that they did that they weren't able to necessarily do in the other films. But it just didn't feel like it was enough of a change. It still could have been a small town or Woodsboro. I mean, other than the fact that Ghostface chased them into a bodega and we got on a subway, that was it. There was not. I mean, I thought for sure we'd have maybe a chase in the streets or something. I mean,
show me a yellow cab. Like, that's the thing. It could have been literally any city. And then they tried the cop out of, that's the point. New York can be like any city. And it's like, well, then why set it in New York? 5.
What about the cat? What about the cast for 6? Did you have any particular thing against or for the cast?
Well, I mean, it essentially was the same as 5. We kept so many people alive. The inclusion of Danny was fine. I like him as an actor. Like, I like him in other things. So, like, I wasn't mad about it. But, like, he was really a peripheral character that didn't pay off. Like, he wasn't even a red herring. Like, he was just there. I loved Annika. I was sad when she died. She had a cool death, but I wish she would have made it further. She was, like, interesting. I actually was, like, rooting for her. Whatever his name was, Ethan, like, fine. Like, Quinn was, like, fun. I don't know. I don't have a particular attachment to many characters in 5 or 6. I feel like I should have been more excited than I was about Kirby being back. I think they made some weird choices with her there. I don't know. They don't grab me like some other characters throughout the franchise. I wish I liked them more because that may have helped the movie along, but we just don't know them well enough. Like, I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, no, that's true too. And to talk about Kirby, I think they made a couple of weird choices with her as well. I think they could have really gotten a little bit deeper into her whole cause, as far as being a part of law enforcement. They really could have done more with that. Like, it just seemed like she was such a warm character in 4, spunky and so forth. And I know you're not going to be the same person years later, but it just felt like she just didn't have that punch. And she had a couple of moments, but it just didn't feel like they gave her enough. It really didn't, unfortunately. But what can you do? There's not much you can do. Real quick too, we have backstage, we've got our good friend coming in, and we're going to continue this conversation a little bit more. And you guys in the chat, definitely continue to let us know what you are thinking. Let's bring in our good friend Julie to this right in here. Hey, Julie.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
No problem.
I just got done seeing the best sequel ever.
For the third time?
Second.
Nice.
Oh, I was about to say, it is the third one?
No, wow. It's the second time, but oh my gosh, you guys.
Right?
It's so good.
Well,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. No, listen, we definitely are gonna get into that in a little bit too, because
Mhm.
I definitely haven't had a chance to speak about it, and I'm like foaming at the mouth. But let me ask you as well, Julie. Sarah was talking about her vibes with 5 and 6. We started to touch upon radio silence a little bit, but I wanted to go into your thoughts as well. How are your feelings about 5 and 6 in general?
Not as not as maybe down in the dumps as Sarah.
Hmm.
I well, so I get what you're like. I get what you're saying, and I think Steven used to say like they don't have they're missing something. And when you rewatch them, or sorry, when I rewatch them, I do feel like there's something missing, and I don't know what it is. It's like it's almost like a piece of soul
Yeah.
matter, something. But I will say, like fresh out of the theater for both of those movies, I was like so high on them. I thought they were
Hmm.
incredible. Well, except okay, let me take that back. For 6, I was like, this is a 10 out of 10 movie until the reveal. And then then the meter was just, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is not going well.
Right,
But
right.
but seriously, until that reveal, it was like a 10 out of 10 for me. 6 was. I'm
Yeah.
serious. There was a couple things that were kind of like, like I never liked I like Mindy, but I don't like her character feels a bit forced for me. Like the
Yeah.
rules scene in 6 had me like tearing my hair out. I was just like, I don't like it just I
Mhm.
don't know, it felt very forced. And but yeah, but I still don't think I'm maybe as unhappy with them as Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. I mean, 6, the thing about 6 is that they did some things quite a bit better than 5, in my opinion, but they also made some huge mistakes that 5 didn't make. I mean, in 6, nobody got killed. And
Yeah.
there wasn't even a reason for it. Like you stab Mindy, you make Chad a pincushion, you look like you killed Gale.
Yeah.
You even acted like you killed Kirby, and like everybody just comes back like, "Hey, it's just a flesh wound," and it's like, bro, this is a slasher film. Somebody's got to die. Gale should have died.
Yep.
I mean, and I love Gale, but again, it it could have paid off 5. You know what I'm saying? Like if she did something again, we talked about it earlier in 5, like either Dewey or Gale should have sacrificed for each other. But what about in this film, if it was a sacrifice that Gale made, to kind of make up for the bad choices she had? What if she sacrificed herself for Sam or for Tara or for Mindy?
Yeah.
Maybe in that subway, I mean, granted they would have had to make that work, but they could have. Maybe in that subway, maybe Mindy does get hurt or attacked or stabbed or whatever. Gale jumps in, takes the mortal blow. She dies. Mindy lives. I could deal with that. I could deal with that. But here's Mindy on the subway in Timbuktu with nobody around her to save her. And it's like, why didn't Ethan just kill her? Y-
Yeah.
You know, he acted like, oh, you got stabbed. Like that wasn't even for the story. That was for us that were watching. It's like, why is it written like that? That's so
Oh, you're so
ridiculous,
right about that.
They
Yeah.
did that a
right?
couple
You just,
times. Oh, like the
what was
Quinn
You're
that?
scene in the
right.
bedroom when she's like calling her dad, like that's to trick us. Like it's not part
Right,
of the story. Like I don't like when
right,
movies do that.
right. I mean, the thing that I feel, and you guys in the chat, let us know. I know you guys are working hard, and we see you guys. We're going to get to you guys as well as much as we can. But the thing that I've always appreciated about Scream is that it's a very intelligent franchise. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all movies have some silliness to them. They're movies. They're meant to be, kind of an exaggeration of life, of real life. But Scream was always able to have a certain sense of intelligence to it. And you've got scenes like this that are totally stupid. I mean, it's no disrespect, but it's just stupid. And so, Mindy survives, Gale survives. There's no reason at this point in the story. Now, granted, 7 may change this, and I want to get to 7. I hope 7 changes all this. But in 6, there's no reason for Gail to go on. She didn't do anything in 6. Um, it was a good attack scene, but even that wasn't like, I enjoyed it in a physical sense, seeing an attack with a character I know and love. But there wasn't any heart to it, if you know what I'm saying. Like, yes, she finally got a call from Ghostface. That's cool. But here she is in this bougie apartment with this new dude after she wrote a book about, you know, it's like, come on, man. I'm not on your team right now, bro. You're not winning me over. And so she should have died. She doesn't die. And of course, you guys know about Chad. I just think that 6, I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they just wanted to pump the brakes. It's like, bro, you got to kill some people in these movies. You got to do that. So that's one of
It's
my biggest
bizarre.
issues.
It's almost like I wonder if they were saving everything for 7, but then it's like, well, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. RJ was saying the same thing. He said, they had no stakes. They played it too safe. I know. It's like, and they're in New York. This is supposed to be, you know, like dangerous city. What's
Yeah.
going on? Oh
Yeah.
my
Oh
gosh.
my gosh.
So look, let's also kind of angle this to 7. You know, we've had a lot of conversations, you know, online in our thread, and obviously, you know, we kind of get an idea what we think. But just for the folks here, do you guys think? Because we talked about the state of Scream before you came in, Julie. Do you think that we're going to be moving in the right direction with 7? And if so, how?
My hope.
That was a big sigh.
Sorry. Well, no. After seeing the trailer, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
After knowing that Kevin did rewrites, I'm even more excited.
Yeah.
I just hope, and I feel like it's not a big ask, but because he's been there for the first few, but I just hope he brings back that missing soul. And I don't know how he's going to do it, but I hope he can, because, and again, I really can't pinpoint what that is, but yeah, something's off. And I think he can do it. I think he's the only one who can do it now. And I don't know. I'm going to remain hopeful. I really don't want to see a second trailer, but I also have to because I want to talk about it. Story of your life. But I'm hopeful. I am. But again, I don't know if he's going to have the same issue of he can't kill anybody. Who's he going to kill?
Yeah.
Can't kill Sidney. He's probably not going to kill Tatum. He's probably going to kill Mark. That's one. But is he going to kill Chad and Mindy? I don't know. They're not his characters, but is it really going to hit if Chad dies in some way after what we've seen him endure?
Yeah,
What are they going to do to him?
The
You got
moment
to
is
run him
past.
over with a dump truck.
Yeah. It's almost like, and I hate to say it because I think Mason is awesome.
Yeah,
I love Mason. And I think that the character, I really started to love the character, especially in 6. And I think it's another thing about the core 4 and 6. It felt like they were comfortable. It felt like it really was a core 4. You know, I love those scenes with them, and I was getting comfortable with them. And of course, things happen that we can't control. But if he gets killed, I mean, yeah, I'm still gonna feel kind of bad about it. But the punch is taken out because they kept, you know, teasing us in 5 and 6. Sarah, what do you think about 7? You know, is Kevin in a situation, because Julie made a kind of a great point there. I mean, is Kevin in a situation now where he's kind of chained up? We know Sidney is off the list. You know, Chad, I don't think they're going to kill Chad because, again, they kind of missed the boat on that. They're probably not going to kill Tatum. I mean, Mark, but who? No disrespect to Joel McHale, but who cares? You know. So Sarah, is this a bad situation for Kevin to be in for 7 or what?
I think the only two people who are truly off limits would be Sidney and Tatum. I think Courtney Cox could make the decision that Gail wants to die. Right? So I think that there is a world where that happens. Is she executive producing this one again?
I think
I
so.
think so. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
like, and she said before that she wanted Gail to die, so I don't think Gail's off the table. Um, there's so many other cast members that we haven't even like touched on. They could all be cannon fodder. Like,
Yeah.
That's
who
true.
knows? I think it's open
Yep.
season on all of them. I think, yeah, I think the only two truly off limits people are Sydney and Tatum.
Okay. All right. And Kevin has famously talked about, Sydney has earned the happy ending, because of
Mhm.
all that she's been through. He said it would be horrendous, for her to die at this point,
It
which
would be.
wouldn't it though? But at the
Yeah.
same time, and I'm not. I said this the other night. I thought people were going to start like shooting at the screen or something. I'm not saying I want Sydney to die. I'm not saying that whatsoever. But what I am saying is, when it all comes down to having that arc and getting to the end, because at some point we gotta move past Sydney. We just do.
Mhm.
I think, Halloween has hopefully learned by now, we've got to move on from Lori, at least for a little while. And when I
Mhm.
say a little while, I'm talking about, maybe 20 years. We got to branch the mythology out more, and we can do it with a lot of these classic franchises. With Scream, it's tougher because we've been locked in so long, but like we saw in 5 and 6, we can move into new characters, and I really think they should. But with Sydney, I don't know if they could top 3 that ending. That was so picture perfect. It was poetic. It was beautiful. I mean, Kevin could, I'm sure, because now she has a family. If the family's intact now, they can live on and be happy. Um, but I don't know, man. What if she sacrifices herself for Tatum or something like that? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I want that, but I'm just throwing that out there because that's the only downside, is that everyone who's a big fan like us, everyone in the chat, we all know that that's been the rule. Sydney's not going to die. So it's like, how do you make her character still interesting? How do you still wonder? How are you still afraid for her? Well, you're not. I mean, other than obviously now she's got our family. So interesting stuff. It really, really is. It's a gift and a curse, in my opinion. Real quick too, in the chat, we got Strange Monkey in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Six Six had way too much going on. That was the problem. Too many fake outs and too many people under the mask. There you go. It's so true, man. It is so true. We also have in the chat, Phil's Creepy Vids in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. If you're still in there, hope you are enjoying the end of the year, spooky season, and of course, we got Christmas right around the corner, man.
Yay.
Right? Uh, Queric in the house. What's going on? I get that night. To be fair, Kirby was kind of elusive in 4, and I'll let my intrusive thoughts spew. Where in 6, still kind of elusive, but was at work at the same time. No, I get what you mean. I do think there were shades of her that came through. I think Hayden is very talented. I just feel as though it's too bad that they didn't give her more to
Yeah.
do. It just felt like she was there because we all loved her in 4, and they made her part of obviously law enforcement, and yay, but it just didn't feel like they made it to the finish line with her as a character.
She could have been any other character too.
Yeah.
I just don't like you can swap her out with anybody and it would be the exact same. Like I think that's a big problem.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they could have done, not to have the focus on her for sure, but she's an important character from the past. They could have really gotten deeper into that whole mindset of her hunting ghost faces, and
Mhm.
kind of, I don't know, they could have had a scene where, I don't know, it was a crime scene and she's really showing her skill. Like she didn't get a chance to really show her skill. So it's almost like you said, that could have been anybody in that role.
We needed
Uh,
more
Yeah,
time with her, or like a scene that hooked into 4. Like remember when we were talking about A Nightmare with Jill or something? Like just I mean, and
yeah.
that's a little like I don't know where you would shove that into the movie because the movie was just, you know, go, go,
Yeah.
go, go, go.
Instead
needed
of having
something.
her like fight with Gail, I was hoping to see like a scene between the two of them when Gail was just like, how did you even get into the FBI? I was hoping to like hear more
Yeah.
about what happened to her after Woodsboro, where she was
Yeah.
up until now, like just something to like join the stories instead of all of these weird quips about the two of them and them not like getting along. Because with Sam, she was all like, we're part of this family, we're bonded forever. And with Gail, they're like arguing. It's like,
Yeah.
I thought we would have gotten some more Gail and Kirby, or at least some more Kirby and Sam, because like
Mm-hmm.
obviously their relationship is manufactured for this movie, but they could have dumped some old lore on us if we had a conversation between like the two of them. It's just, yeah, they just, like Julie said, you could have swapped her out with anybody.
You're
Yeah.
so right. If they had just swapped
Mm-hmm.
like the stupid little like quips like that with something real, something
Mm-hmm.
just like let's be serious. Like we thought she was dead for the past however many years. Like, can we get like a real scene with
They would
her?
have been recovering in the same hospital. They lived in the same town.
Yeah.
Of course, Gail
Yep.
and Kirby would have had some kind of relationship, but instead it was jokes about her being a fetus and being
Yeah,
really good
right.
at her job and like just stupid dialogue with no purpose.
Yeah.
Instead of
And I
Yeah.
think
us
part
like,
of that is the Gale character reset.
yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we can't have like a serious moment of dialogue with Gale now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame, and I'm really hoping, and that's where I want to go as we start to wind down. I hope in 7 they can really do some justice for Gail. I think they will with Sydney. You know, like even in the trailer, I'm feeling like, okay, Sydney's back. I'm definitely going to enjoy what Nev's going to bring here. I'm hoping, and you would think with Kevin, you know, handling a lot of this in the background, they got to bring Gail back, man. Because if Gail as a character isn't cool in this film, I'm just gonna be so irritated. I really
Dude.
am. I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm just being honest, because she's a great character, or she was.
She was, yeah.
She could have had the best arc, like of any of them, and then 5 just kind of 5 was the decline, and 6 just kind of threw that into the ground.
Yeah.
And they had
Agreed.
a huge jumping off point. They kill Dewey, and you go somewhere with it. Don't just. It's like they didn't know what to do, and they were like, "Uh-oh, well, she's
Did
mean
not pay
again."
off. No,
That's her character.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you this: I would not want to be Kevin right now. Like, he may have had like a great time. I hope he had a great time doing this and like figuring out how to fix this. But I would not have wanted to be him.
Right?
So.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Real quick too in the chat, we got Erica taking care of business. Definitely, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps us out so very much, and we appreciate it. Hey, my cousin, what's up, man? You're all right. Good to see you, bro. We'll have to call him after this. So for 7, last thing on 7, Sarah, I'm gonna start with you. Does Stu come back in the flesh? Is he alive?
alive in the flesh in 7, 30% chance of it. I don't know if I'm channeling Steven and I just want Stu to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he is, we're going to get a tease in 7 and we'll see him in 8.
Okay. Now, when you say tease, are we going to see him physically? And Sydney and the others may not. They might still be wondering, but the audience, will we see Matthew on screen physically alive as Stu? Is that what you mean as the tease?
I think we're going to get a voice that is actually his, like not a voice changer, like a straight up Stu, and maybe like a shot of like the back of him, which could be like a stunt double. Like I don't think we're going to see physically Matthew Lillard alive in the flesh, but I think there's going to be a tease that he really is alive and we're going to see him in 8.
Okay.
Or
All right.
maybe that's just what I'm hoping for, but yeah.
Alrighty, fair enough. And also, hey to Anthony in the house. Hello from Virginia. Drew Barrymore reinvented the horror franchise, by the way. You know, she really did. When I was so shocked when she got killed, man. I'm serious. Serious. Julie, how about you? Are we gonna see Stu alive in the flesh?
At this point, I really hope so, because I'm at a loss on what a motive could be for anybody else. I mean, like I can't think of anything. So at this point, I really hope so, because like you said, we need we need something to make Sydney interesting in this, and
Mm,
then a next movie. And it's like, okay, if we do the same thing we've been doing, where we have killers with a motive, it's family or it's crazed fanatics, whatever. But then I've started to hate how they always get killed off at the end of every movie. And then it's just a
mhm.
reset. It's a reset. It's a reset. And this, I want some kind of hook that we can be going crazy over at the end of
Yeah.
this movie, carry into a next movie, something different, please.
Mhm.
And different
Mhm.
by like, don't just like clean it all up at the end and everybody's fine and we go home. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want it to end well. I want the killer to be alive. And if it's Stu, hell yeah, because I can't think of anything better. I seriously can't. Like, I don't want kids again. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just like, please no, I don't want another teenager. And I know one of them's going to be, but
Right.
I need something bigger, better, serious.
But
Julie, you're
what
too
is your
funny, man.
motive if you're a teenager? Like, I want a
That's what
good
I'm
Right.
saying.
motive, a good
Yeah.
Right.
mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like they've done all the plausible, like, yeah, Billy's mom, a serial killer, Mickey, her brother, her cousin, like, okay. And they
Mhm.
did raise teenage fans and like in six, well, another family, but also teenagers again. But it's just like, yeah, we need something bigger this time,
Yeah.
guys.
I agree. And they got it. The breadcrumbs have been laid. It's right there for the taking.
Mhm.
And this could lead us into 8 with as much hype as there's ever been online for Scream. Can you imagine all the people that are fine with or love it? And can you imagine the people that won't love it? I mean, it's going to be like conversations galore. It's going to be banana pancakes.
I mean,
I'm all for it.
this may be Last Jedi territory. It may be like split right down the middle, and
It might be.
that's exciting.
But unlike The Last Jedi, it's gonna be a good decision. So, um, I'm just saying real quick, what's up, Alex? We got
Oh,
podcast now in the house. What's up, man? Keep on rocking, everyone. I gotta say, I'm more and more okay with Stu being alive if that's the path they choose. Yeah, I mean, look, like I said before, I think it's a win for the franchise. I think it's a win for the story. I think it's a win for Sydney. The stakes are raised, and they're always tying things into the past. You can't get much more amazing than this. And like I was saying last week, it also ties into 5 with Vince. I mean, this could literally bring, it kind of gives 5 and 6 more validity and more weight. I mean, it
mhm.
could be really done. It could be really well done. It really could.
Yeah, take
Um,
that kill that meant nothing in 5
right,
and do something with it.
Yeah.
right,
And by the way,
right.
I love your channel, Alex. So
Mhm.
Absolutely, man. No doubt about it. And thank you for being here, bro. We appreciate you. So let's transition real quick because I knew we had to do this sooner or later, and you ladies are the ones that I wanted to talk about with this. Julie just came home for the second time seeing the Black Phone 2. Julie, I'll have you start off, then I'll go to Sarah. What do you think of this film?
I love it. Dude, okay, so when I
This is
first,
great.
I've told you guys this story, but when I first saw the first movie, when it came out, I was sleep deprived and I was not in the mood. And I came out thinking, yeah, that was okay, but I'm not
Mhm.
obsessed with it. And and then like I hadn't rewatched it until this past weekend. And I freaking loved it. And I was like, man, I was tweaking when I watched it the first time because this is so good. And the sequel, so different,
Mhm.
so fun. The utility belt,
Yeah.
the ice skating,
Yeah.
stop. Oh my God. Like And now we need a third one. And I don't know how you do a third one. And if you continue with the cast, I don't know if we're talking spoilers, but I won't say anything spoilery.
Yeah.
But I want them to continue in any way they can. I don't know what they would do, but hell yeah, like please do it.
Oh, I
So
definitely
good.
I definitely can see how they could do it. And they got to, man. Sarah, how about you? Because you've got some interesting takes on Black Phone 2 as well.
Yeah, so the first Black Phone was easily my favorite movie the year it came out. Like I loved it. And for a while I was like in the minority and I'm like, am I crazy? Like why aren't people obsessed with this? Like I really, really
Right?
like it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't excited for a sequel because I liked the first one so much. I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like
Mhm.
it was a perfect little capsule story. So
Yes.
I was like cautiously optimistic after seeing the trailer because the trailer was really good. So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, they clearly have a vision. I like Scott Derrickson. I like his style. I
Mhm.
was obviously going to be seated for this movie no matter what. But I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this could be something. I've also seen it now twice in theaters. I also love it. I echo everything you guys said. I think it's up there with like maybe my favorite movie this year. I'm going back and forth between like that and Sinners. Like I really, really enjoyed it. I'm also not going to give any spoilers because it's still relatively new, but kind of what Julie was saying about the cast. If they do a third, I don't want a prequel because I want the same cast. Like
Yeah.
it's the
Dude.
same three kids technically because the guy who played Miguel is the same guy who plays his little brother Ernesto, right? It's like they've
Mhm.
kept this like little core group together. They work well together. Like the
Mhm.
acting's great. The addition of the new characters were great. Two of them could have died. For those who have seen the movie, you'll know the annoying couple I'm talking about. But like it was really good. I was really surprised. I don't know how they would do a third, but if they do, like my tickets are purchased.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
What were you gonna say, Julie?
no, I was gonna say, I think what you said about a prequel, I think I could really enjoy a prequel. However, I think after you've gone and done this, you
Mhm.
can't really put the cat back in the bag, dude. Like
Right.
Yeah.
it's out and
Right.
he is
We've
Yeah.
like yeah, we've learned
wild.
we've
Yeah.
learned the history. So like do I
Yeah.
really need a prequel of the whole story? Like no.
Right.
No, you're
Right.
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 There's really nothing they can go back to at this point. But
No.
yeah, so just take it forward, dude. Yeah. Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
they literally have the map laid out in front of them to go for it, and I see several ways that they could go for it, and also keep the same cast. I mean, I think the magic, and that's what I loved about the first one so much. And Julie, when you were thinking at first it was kind of mid, I was like, man, the thing I loved so much about it was this whole chemistry that Finney and Gwen had,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was and I dare say it was kind of Scream-esque because the characters and the love of this brother and sister, and also being very young but so great in their performances, is
Mhm.
what really drew me. And of course, Ethan Hawke was the icing on the cake because even in that film, and even in the second one, I mean, it's no spoilers, but the family is first and foremost. You know what
Oh
they're
yeah.
going through, their chemistry, their connection to each other, and the grabber is, kind of on the outskirts coming in to do what he does. And I think that that's the magic of these two films. And especially when I saw the first one, I saw the first one and we saw it twice. And especially for my young ones, when they like a horror movie, it's like it's Disney World time because they're very picky, but they loved the first one. So we went to go see the second one. They were on board, and I was like, yes, I'm trying to keep horror alive for the
Oh yeah.
future. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mhm.
In my house, anyways. But can I just say, again, Mason and Madeline McGraw, I mean, they were fantastic in the Black Phone 2. And I really enjoyed how, and this isn't a spoiler, but I think that in the first film, obviously we spent a lot of time with Finney. And I think in this film, I think Gwen
Yeah.
gets a nice share of the story, which was good for balance. And Ethan Hawke, bro, look,
Dude.
First of all, I've been a fan of Ethan Hawke forever. Like he can do anything. Like he could sing a Disney song and I'm gonna pay to watch it. Okay. What he was doing in this film, there were scenes, whether it was dialogue or just physicality, I'm like, bro, if they do a third film, which they should, it did well commercially, it did well critically, this could be a brand new horror franchise, like true franchise. I know we got two. To me, a franchise is at least three. We could have a new, really, really good horror franchise, and the grabber could like whoop. I mean, he's devious in this
He
film.
is.
I loved it.
Oh my
That first
god.
line when he said hell isn't fire, it's ice.
It's ice.
Yes.
Dude.
Yes. And I,
It's so
you know,
good.
you know what I love about Ethan though, because he's a very talented actor, stage actor and so forth. I just love those scenes where he just like puts his arms out. He's just like showboating and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I love this stuff so much.
He
Anybody
made
in the
ice
chat?
skating scary.
He
He's just
did.
gliding along the ice, and I'm like terrified for these children.
Yeah, I know. It just goes to show you that horror can still be so effective without a ton of blood and limbs being hacked apart if you have the characters and the performance and the story really draws you in, because that's what they did with this film as well. I mean, you literally, and this is no spoiler, it's in the trailer, that scene in the with the payphone booth.
Yes.
He's just in a payphone booth. It's like, what's so scary about that? And when Ethan Hawke is right there, it's like in the theater, I was like, ooh, I was gripping my popcorn a little tighter, and just the dialogue, man. He was nasty, bro. I was
His
like,
voice wasn't like, I
yes.
loved what he did in the first movie where he was like, oh, guess I can't let you go now,
Yeah.
But in this movie, he is mad as hell. He is mad.
Yeah,
And
He
yeah,
emotes
hear
so
it.
well through
Yeah.
like the half masks. It's like you
yeah.
always know what he's feeling, but like the story is so good. And I know you have to wrap soon, but like all of these little twists and turns that happen, these like new developments, it feels like it was thought out from the first one. Like
Mhm.
nothing feels like it came out of left field.
Mm-mm.
Everything makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything just like builds upon the lore we already knew from the first one. Like it was a perfect sequel. It's like Scream and Scream 2. It's like Black Phone and Black Phone 2. It's like they're perfect little bundles. Like it was
Yeah.
such a good sequel. Like I was so pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
It really does feel like a natural progression of where they could have gone, because I've seen some people
Mhm.
say, oh, this makes no sense. Like, why? They didn't set this up at all. This is so bizarre. This is nothing like the first one. Yeah, it's not really like the first one, but I disagree that they didn't set it up. They
Yeah.
completely set
Right.
it up. The
Yeah.
dreams and everything. The
Yep.
mother, everything was set up.
Yep. The
And
felt
phone
very natural.
itself. The phone
Yeah.
itself. There were times in the first film where the phone was beating like a heart and
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. And it was like, so it was kind of playing with that supernatural vibe right in the first film. And so I think, and it's funny because just like you guys, when they said they were going to do it, I was like, no, don't do it. He's dead. I enjoyed it. Stop. And as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like,
Oh,
okay, all right, I get it. That's where we're going. I'm here for it. I haven't seen a new Elm Street film in a long time. Let's go.
right. We're
Let's go.
starving out here.
Yes.
This was
Yes.
The character growth is so good from all of them, and it's so
Mhm.
believable. Like they don't go, Halloween 2018, Laurie Strode trauma. They have
Right.
like really believable trauma, and they're all dealing with it in their different ways. But also
Yep.
the story arc of the father in recovery. Like
Yes.
at the end of the first movie, I was like, I hate this man, and at the end of this movie, I was like, hell yeah, dad's back.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's really good like character writing. Like
Mhm.
I liked all of the characters or disliked the ones that you were supposed to dislike. Like it just
Mhm.
everybody was believable.
Yeah.
For like as wild of a movie it is, I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah. And also just the locale. Like
Ugh.
I know this sounds totally ridiculous, but being that they went to a camp and it's a freaking Blizzard and so
Mhm.
forth, it was giving me vibes of, like The Shining or
Yeah.
Mhm.
or even Friday 13th, if Friday 13th was during the winter, at Camp Crystal Lake, and I
The
loved it.
Thing,
The
Whiteout,
Thing,
like,
Yeah.
yes.
just
Oh,
isolated,
man.
snowy. Everybody always talks about Ghostface in the snow.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Yeah, we got
Yes.
our winter movie.
Grabber.
Yeah.
Love
Hey,
it.
look.
Rubber in the snow.
Hey, look.
That
Black
snowman
Phone.
face on the window.
Yes. Oh my God, that was so creepy. Look, they figured out, they were like, look, guys, if Freddy's not going to come back and if they're not going to have Ghostface in the winter, we're going to do it the right way. They're like, we're going to do it. And they did it. It was an awesome film. It really was. I was so happy for it. And it
Oh
made a ton of
yeah.
money.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did. There's
Yeah.
hope.
Yeah.
I
There is hope.
I don't know. And I think Scott Derrickson has said, yeah, if it makes sense,
Yeah.
we might have
Yeah.
something.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, they've got the roadmap right there. They got a great cast. They got a fantastic actor in this role as this villain. And now the sky's the limit as far as the story. As long as you craft something that has heart and it makes sense, you can build,
Yeah.
and they're not gonna make it's so funny because in my next stream, we're I shouldn't even say this in the next stream we're gonna be doing in a few minutes. Kill and I we're gonna be talking about Elm Street and Saw. And so,
Ooh.
yeah, Julie, I know you're up for that. But the one thing I know Scott Derrickson and company won't do is they won't make the grabber a laughing stock like Freddy became. You know
No,
what I'm
please
saying?
no.
So they've learned the lessons from the past. But no, Black Phone 2 was amazing. It truly was. I'm just that it's jockeying for my number one for the
Yeah.
year. And that's a
Yeah.
that's a tall order because I loved Sinners. I loved The Long Walk. I really enjoyed Weapons. And there's been some other ones I've enjoyed too. But telling you, man, Black Phone 2, bro. Woo.
And I think, am I wrong? But didn't Joe Hill pitch the story for the second movie? Stephen King's
Um,
son. He wrote
I
the short story that the first movie was made from.
right.
But I think
I can't remember if he pitched it or not. It
okay.
wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if he did
Well,
because,
let's.
he has that same type of aesthetic. I know that sounds cheesy or campy, but hey, you learn from the best, man. And I think a big strength of Stephen King stories is the characters and their chemistry in dealing with the greater evil. In both of these two films, that was the key. It wasn't even really about the grabber, although now it's like, it seemed like in this one, Ethan Hawke was able to kind of let his hair down a little bit
Oh
more,
yeah.
which I enjoyed. But still, this movie is about this brother and sister who are absolutely amazing together. They really are.
Incredible. I love both of them so much. Oh my God,
Mhm. Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
If we get a third movie, we're gonna need an even more expanded utility belt. Like, oh my God, dude. He had the belt whip, the axe. What else did he have?
Yes.
Used the telephone cord a few
Oh
times.
my
Like,
God,
You
that
can have just like a fishing vest, just full of little pockets and things.
dude, and the little flip he did with the axe in the kitchen.
Yes,
Oh, sorry,
yes.
it might be a little bit spoilery, but that might have been in the trailer. But
Yeah, that wasn't the trailer, yeah.
okay,
He was just so cool, man. He really
he was having
was.
fun. Yeah.
And in The Mask, we talked about The Mask before for the first one. Tom Savini helped design it and all of that. But that mask is great and all the variations as well. And so when Ethan is doing those movements, like when he's turning from the back to the front and all, it's so cinematic. It's great. It's
It
all right
is.
there.
Just everything
Yeah.
about his design, this movie is good. Like, you see this in the trailer, so not a spoiler, but the way the like ice becomes like part of his foot as like the
Yes.
skate, like
It's
everything
all
just looks
bloody,
painful. Like
It's
just looks like he's
nasty.
in constant frozen pain,
Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh
Yeah.
yeah. His scalp.
which he
Ooh.
deserves.
Oh,
Yeah, he does
man.
deserve it. But
He does. Yeah.
and I wonder how he would look in a third movie if they would keep that look, or maybe I don't know. I guess we'll
I don't
find
know.
out. But it was so
Right?
cool because he still had the modular pieces, so
Yeah.
we could see his mouth and so
Yeah.
cool.
Ethan Hawke, boy, I tell you, he's all right. He is
He
all right.
is.
Well, look, guys, real quick in the chat, we had a couple people jumping in as we get ready to wind down. Jared, thank you so much for the support, brother. We appreciate it. Saying, I just wish we got to share whatever happens with Steven. Brother, I'm gonna tell you what, we all feel the same way. And there's not a day that goes by, especially speaking about all this stuff, that I don't think about that personally, because it was just such a big part of the community. And he was the voice of it. He really was. But I will say, I feel like, us all getting together in whatever capacity it is, and it doesn't even matter what channel. It doesn't have to be here, but even with Jake, and with Sister Pam, with Fate, all of these different channels, it feels like there's still that spirit, as cheesy as that may sound. But Steven loved this franchise, and he loved people talking about it and loving it. So I'm glad that there is still so many of us that are trying to carry on, his spirit and his love for this great franchise. So,
Go
but thank
watch
you.
his videos, man. Go watch his videos on him.
That's right. That's right. You can't imagine how much great content he has on that channel. And, over these last several weeks, I've gone back, just to kind of make those connections again. And even as close as I was with him, it's almost like you sometimes forget some of the little details, and just listening to the joy, listening to the way he thought, his process. And yeah, man, it's great stuff. It's great stuff. You
And
can't
leave
go
him a
wrong.
comment. It's fun if you think of him, if he crosses your mind and you want to tell him some cool, fun Scream things, just leave him a comment. Tell him your ideas.
Absolutely.
Tell him your theories. Just talk to him.
It's so true. It's so true. I mean, he always said, that channel, it's a place for people that love movies, that love Wes Craven movies, that love Scream, that love horror movies, but also people that love each other. And so it's still there. It's still
Talk to
there.
each
So much fun.
other in the comments. Discuss Scream in his posts. He would love that.
Yep.
He would.
No doubt about it. He would. Man, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate you, Jared. Seriously, that was a very kind comment. Seriously, I appreciate that. And Matthew as well. Hey, Matthew. Hope you're doing well, bro. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. And Matthew saying, appreciate you guys. Much love to you, brother. And thank you for all the great comments and reaching out and so forth. You guys continue to just amaze me, amaze each other. So thank you so much. Well, ladies, we're going to get ready to head on out of here. Thank you so much for doing this. This was fun. This is so much fun doing this, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here and talking, with all of us. Saying thank you isn't enough, but I appreciate you guys so much.
It was a blast. Thank you again.
I love it. We have so much fun.
Yes, we do. All right. Well, you guys in the chat, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. Also, make sure if you get a chance, follow these ladies on Instagram. They are a hoot. I can say that with so much love and respect. And also in the chat, we had the link from my man Derek. Check out his online store. It's great stuff. I got my little ghosty right here that he sent to me. Is absolutely awesome. He's got some great stuff. I'm going to be getting some more stuff from there as well. And I will be back in a minute. Me and Kill are going to be going down the Elm Street Road versus Saw. So hopefully you guys will be around and hang out with us for a little bit longer. But until then, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace.